Hello, my name is Emmanuel, and I'm going to present to my teammates Andy, Sébastien, Willy, and Marckensley. We are going to present you our English project. We're going to talk about the history of the Canadiens of Montreal.
The Montreal Canadiens are a professional ice hockey team based in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. They are a member of the Northwest Division of the Eastern Conference of the National Hockey League. The club is officially known as le Club de Hockey Canadien. French nicknames for the team include les Canadiens or les Canadiens, le bleu, blanc, rouge, la Saint-Flamand, le tricolore, le glorieux or no glorieux, les habitants, le CH and le Grand Club. In English, the team name. Nickname is the Habs, an abbreviation of Les Habitants. Founded in 1909, the Canadiens are the longest continuously operating professional ice hockey team and the only exciting NHL club to predate the founding of the NHL, as well as one the oldest North American sport franchise. The franchise is one of the original 6 team. A description used for the team that made up the NHL from 1942 until the 1967 expansion following the departure of the rival Quebec Nordique in 1995 and the relation of the Montreal Expo to Washington DC in 2004. The Canadiens remaining the sole team of the 4 major sport league of the Canada and the only states that is based in the province of Quebec. The team championship season in the 1992-1993 marked the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup.
The Canadiens have won the Stanley Cup more times than any other franchise. They have won 24 championships, 22 of them since 1927, when NHL team became the only ones to compete for the Stanley Cup on a percentage basis. As of 2010, the franchise have 25% of all Stanley Cup championship contests after the Challenge Cup era, making it one of the most successful professional sports teams of traditional 4 major sports of Canada and United States. In the 1930s, the club started to decade successfully with Stanley Cup win in 1930 and 1931. However, the club and its then Montreal rival, the Montreal Maroons, declined but on the ice and the sweater in predominantly red in color.
Nos bras meurtris vous tendent le flambeau, à vous toujours de porter bien haut. To you from failing hands we throw the torch, be your to hold it high. The motto is from the poem In Flanders Field by John McCree, which was written in 1915. The Canadiens won their first Stanley Cup championship. The motto is written on the wall of the Canadian dressing room at the Bell Center.
The founders, Jack Laviolette. Jean-Baptiste Jacques Laviolette is born 27 July 1879 at Belleville in the province of Ontario and died on 10 January 1960 in Montreal, Quebec. Was a player in ice hockey. He is one of the founders of the Montreal Canadiens and the company of John Ambrose. O'Brien. La Violette family joined the city of Quebec Valley-Franc when he was 12 years old and discovered in the ice hockey, and they acquired his passion for the sport with a close friend Didier Piot. He is the creator at the request of O'Brien and a hockey team comprised of players and French to sing the likes of Edouard Lalonde and Georges Vézina. La Violette is also at the same time member of the executive of the National Hockey Association in addition to being general manager, captain, coach, and the supporter of the Canadiens. He won the Stanley Cup in 1916 with Canadiens. It is the only member of the Canadian history to have held as many functions simultaneously. He was the coach on the day of the creation of the NHL. John Abruzzo is born May 11, 1807 in Whitfield, Ontario, and died in 1968. Was the first owner the Club de Hockey Canadien of Heroes. The team is father Michael John Humble was born poor but managed to get rich to girl our work and business acumen.
Maurice Richards. Joseph-Henri Maurice the Rocket Richards, born in August 4, 1921 and died in May 27, 2000, aged 78 years, was a Canadian professional ice hockey player who played for the Montreal Canadiens of the National Hockey League (NHL). From 1942 to 1960, the Rocket was the most prolific goal scorer of his era, the first to achieve the feat of 50 goals in 50 games. He lived most of his life in Nantic, Montreal. In 1996, at the closing of the Montreal Forum, a tearful Rocket received the longest time standing ovation in the city history over and over again. Richards, always the reluctant hero, looked around in surprise for the first few minutes when he realized the crowd was not letting up, and their love for him was real, broke down in tears while waving and mouthing "thank you." He lived rarely showed this side of himself, as he always tried to remain humble. The last few minutes of adulation saw Richards closing eyes while the crowd chanted "Go Habs Go" over and over again. On June 27, 2011, the Canadian government unveiled a monument in Jacques Cartier Park in Hull, Quebec, honoring Richards, and he was inducted into Canada Walk of Fame.
UP was the exposed mascot since 1979. UP lost his family when the baseball cup was picked up to Washington before the start of the 2005 season. Growing up in Quebec, UP chose to stay with him where for over 30 years. He has made thousands of friends, young and old, pet independent. He was overjoyed at the prospect of the Canadians have not only the opportunity to continue his role as host of a new home crowd, but also to regain his many friends. Thus, Tuesday, September 16, 2005, UP wrote 2 pages of history in a single day, becoming the first mascot to work in 2 professional sport leagues, in addition to being the first official mascot of Canadian 96 years of existence.
some more.